Dear Greg, I've been married twice, and I've dated a lot of men. And no matter how differently I try to make my relationships go, it's like I get the same man every time. I'm not kidding. It's like every man in my life is the same guy with a different face. They all end up using me. They all start off nice enough, but they end up using me for money, for sex, for everything. They move in with me, and suddenly they quit their jobs and they want me to support them. How am I finding these guys? How am I getting fooled by them?
If you keep finding the same kind of men, you might consider the virtual certainty that you are doing something to attract this kind of men into your life. And until you identify what you're doing, you'll keep finding these guys who use you. It should be no surprise that it's always about real love. When we don't have enough real love in our lives, the emptiness and pain are intolerable. And we will do whatever it takes to fill our emptiness and to protect ourselves from pain. To fill our emptiness, we use imitation love, which is anything that temporarily makes us feel better when we don't have enough real love. Imitation love can include praise, power, sex, money, and the conditional approval of other people, to name just a few of its varieties. In order to understand how imitation love plays a part in how you attract partners, let me talk about how we come to make our choices in another area of our daily lives. From the time we were small children, we acquire certain preferences in the foods we eat. In some areas of the world, people learn to acquire a real taste for dried seaweed, for example, while others of us are revolted at the very idea of such a meal. Each time we determine that we like a particular food, we're influenced by a combination of color, texture, and taste, as we are influenced by our training, experience, genetics, culture, and other factors. And mostly, we're not aware of the relative power of each of these influences. In a similar way, from the time we are small children, our preferences for certain kinds of imitation love are determined by our training, experience, genetics, culture, and other factors. These influences lead us to prefer a particular combination of praise, power, pleasure, and safety. Let's say, for example, that over the years, what you have come to enjoy most from other people, parents, teachers, friends, is a kind of soup that consists of 4 parts praise in the form of acceptance and flattery, 3 parts power, the sensation you get when your partner agrees to do what you want, 2 parts pleasure, sex and other forms of entertainment, and 4 parts safety. When you meet someone who offers something close to that combination, you will immediately prefer the company of that person. You will like him or her. When people offer you a mixture of praise, power, pleasure, and safety that is quite different from your preferred soup, however, you will not like them. It is absolutely critical that we understand this idea of the imitation love soup that we prefer. This is the basis of the attraction that we have for people. This is what we fall in love with. In our next session, we'll talk more about how we trade imitation love and why you keep attracting the same kind of men into your life.